Mr. Kalkuhl, according to your research, what are the main consequences for poor people because of food price volatility?
We have to distinguish two cases. First, consumers suffer from food price increases because basically their real income decreases and they have less income available to spend for high quality food, for nutritious food, but also for healthcare for their children, for example. On the other hand, high prices tend to benefit agriculture households who sell their food on the market. But these are basically not always the poorest consumers, that are often households that have sufficient land plot size, that have access to capital markets and to agricultural markets. So often the poorest of the poor are those who have very small land holdings and do not sell their food but rely on food purchases and therefore suffer from food price increases. On the other hand, food price volatility, the ups and downs of food prices, the variability of food prices, affects both producers and consumers. Producers because they have higher price risk, they cannot plan their harvest, they have difficulties to buy fertilizers, for example, to increase their production. And consumers suffer from food shortage that are only temporary, but that cannot be compensated by higher consumption later. And this is what our research shows, that food price volatility leads to higher prevalence of underweight and stunting for children globally in many countries.
Now, ZEF has organized a 2-day workshop about food price volatility and food security. And what do you think are the main steps and measures that can be taken now?
There are two approaches to deal with food price volatility. The first is to reduce food price volatility, for example, by building storage. Governments are currently increasing public stockholding in many developing countries to smooth prices and to buffer production shocks, for example. But this is also a very costly option. On the other hand, governments can improve their social infrastructure and their social safety nets to increase resilience of households to cope with food price volatility. Also, insurance is important, and contract farming, which helps farmers to avoid fluctuating prices because they know in advance what they can get from their harvest.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.